Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the series between Samurai Japan and Korea. It is a two-game series set to take place from the Tokyo Dome in Japan, as both of these clubs are using it as a postseason and maybe even a precursor to the World Baseball Classic, a bit of a dress rehearsal set for 2026. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from South Korea, as they will begin the night with the second baseman. It's going to be Min Jae Shin, who will lead it off. He wears number 4. Batting second in right field is number 23, Hyun Min An. Batting third at the DH position, it is number 24, Seong-Wan Song. Batting in the fourth spot and at third base is number 8, Si-Hwan Ro. Batting fifth at first base is number 10, Bo Kyung Moon. Batting in the sixth spot and doing the catching is number 27, Dongwon Park. Hitting seventh in left field is number 51, Hyun Bin Moon. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 7, Juwon Kim. And batting ninth in center field is number 17, Haemin Park. And they're going to be facing Ryuhei Satani, who takes to the hill, as he will get the ball here for Team Japan in this one tonight. Now your starting lineup for the home team, Samurai Japan. Leading off tonight and in center field is number 60, Yuki Okibayashi. Batting second at third base is number 99, Isami Nomura. Hitting in the third spot in right field is number 1, Shota Morishita. The cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 25, Kaz Okamoto. Batting in the fifth spot and at second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting sixth at shortstop is number 51, Kaida Kazono. Hitting seventh in left field is number 7, Misho Nishikawa. Batting in the ace spot, doing the catching is number 12, and that's Seishiro Sakamoto. And batting ninth at first base is number 5, Tai Sasaki. And they are going to be facing, it's going to be Ben Kwok, who takes to the hill, as he will get the nod for the Koreans in this one tonight. Well, we hope you guys will enjoy the call with us. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Korea, Japan, when we return in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know it is going to be a always entertaining affair when you have Korea and Japan going head-to-head. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the calls after this musical timeout. We'll keep you entertained with our good friend Steve Rademacher tonight. Be sure to check out his channel after the game, as he has all kinds of wild and crazy things. We'll be right back in just a moment.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Well, the pomp and circumstance is almost over as former Japan international and longtime star Shonakata threw out the first pitch. And we will be back in just a couple moments as these two clubs, or these two countries, are ready to fight for regional supremacy in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. It is the Samurai Japan and Korea after this message and this timeout. Lineup cards are being exchanged, and we are around the corner here in just a couple moments for first pitch. It is a precursor for the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, we hope you enjoy it with us. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Jen Powell who is behind the plate today. It'll be Lee Young Hyuk at first base. Brock Ballou is the second base umpire, and Shinichiro Hara is going to be working third base for this one here. So Jen Powell, the female umpire in Major League Baseball, getting the opportunity to work home plate here in this one tonight. I gave you the lineups earlier between the Koreans and the Japanese. And of course, a tune-up here for both of these clubs for the Classic. I really like this. I like the fact that both of these countries get together with some games. In the last couple of years, it's been the Dutch, it's been the Czechs who have gone and played against the Japanese. And to have a 2-game series after the season is just nearly completed is great for international baseball and the sport in general. That being said, a little disappointed in some of the star power. Of course, none of the Major League Baseball players are in the lineup for either of the Koreans or the Japanese for this one here tonight. And that is a bit disappointing because when you want to see the two countries go head-to-head, I do want to see best on best. Our friend Juan Carlos is in the house tonight, and we're glad you could make it in, as he had hung out with us during the Japan series. And of course, our Filipino friend has made it in here as well. For those of you who are looking for a stream, Amazon Prime Japan is who is streaming it. And so that is where you can go and get your fill. And tomorrow night, I believe it's the Tokyo Broadcasting System is carrying the game, but all games are streamed on Amazon Prime. So I just made the note at the 11-minute mark. So as soon as people come in and start asking the same question over and over again, we'll just tell you to go to the 11-minute mark, and that'll give you all of the information you need to know. Only streaming on Amazon Prime Japan for this one here. Well, the starter, Satani, has taken to the hill. He's starting his tune-up tosses, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action, as it is Japan and Korea when we return. First pitch is just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. Satani, the lefty, is completing his tune-up tosses, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. He did not exactly have the best of seasons for his team, the Oryx Buffaloes. He was 8-8 in 21 appearances. He'd worked 114 in a third innings. He allowed 125 hits. He had walked 25 and struck out 102 and pitched to a ERA of 4.01. The soon-to-be 25-year-old, it was his third season in the NPB and is really his second full season as the Oryx Buffalo left-hander has just completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one underway. So it'll be, coming to bat for the Koreans, it'll be Shin, On, and Song, as Satani is ready to get this one going. Our friend God is Great is also in the house. He says the game is on Channel 5 today in Japan. So if you are listening in over there, that is where you can watch it. I mentioned earlier it is streamed on Amazon Prime Japan, so good luck if you guys are interested in that. Well, stepping to the plate here is Shin. He is an LG twin. A lot of LG twins in the lineup here for this one tonight, and the first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. God is Great says, I think you're a little behind. Yeah, we might be, as this one here is just underway with us. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over to short. Fielded neatly by the shortstop Kazono. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. We are on a bit of a delay tonight, and our stream is not one of our normal streams, so we've had some challenges. As I mentioned, it is Amazon Prime Japan is taking care of the game, so maybe the carrier pigeons are a little bit slow. So you just have to sync up the stream and the call here. That's the best we can do for you. So one gone here is Satani kicks and delivers, and it's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to On. Defensively tonight for Samurai Japan from left to right field, it is Nishikawa. That's Misha Nishikawa. In left field, the center fielder is Okabayashi, and in right, it is Morishita. As the lefty Satani holds to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Around the horn from first to third. At first base tonight, it is Tai Suzaki. At second base, Shugo Maki. The shortstop is Kaito Kazono. At third, it's Isami Nomura with the battery of Satani and Seishiro Sakamoto, as that breaking ball misses down and the count runs to 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. And I have a feeling it's going to be like this because our stream is just very, very inconsistent. And I wish that we could have a secondary one for you guys tonight, but that is how that is going to have to be for it, unfortunately, as we are calling this one here tonight. And so it is 1-2 strikes I have on. And of course, just like that, we have lost our stream and now it is back to it. But we is now 2 out here for the Koreans. And I can't tell you how On has been retired until I get my update here quickly. So this brings to the plate Seungwon Song. And the first pitch to Song is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Song is the DH in this one, batting from the left side against the lefty Satani, as the lefty works himself to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Satani getting the sign. And it looked like that it was had flown out to center field for the second out, as he had been retired on a 2-2 pitch. So no balls and 2 strikes. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of these ones here tonight. And I was hoping it wouldn't be. We were hoping to get ourselves a reliable piece. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Song as the time has been called and he steps out of the box. And there's a pitch taken for a ball and the count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 strikes to the DH of the Koreans. Satani ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. Top of the first inning as the lefty Satani delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to be it. Song is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and the Koreans go quietly in their half of inning number one. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Koreans, no score, and the Japanese coming to bat. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Hopefully, we can get this sorted out. And we'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. The Korean starter tonight is Ben Kwok of the Doosan Bears, as he is completing his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments. He'll be facing Yuki Okabayashi, Isami Nomura, and Shota Morishita, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters to come to bat for Samurai Japan here in their half inning. And depending on how this game goes tonight, we'll try to get on the airwaves again tomorrow and bring you the game 2 of the series. As we mentioned, it has been a bit of a problem for us. So Guak being on the hill as he is ready to go to work. The right-hander has completed his tosses, and Okabayashi stepping to the plate. The Chinichi Dragon center fielder getting the nod in center field for Samurai Japan, and this one wearing an unfamiliar number 60, as it is Shota Morishita who gets the number 1 for Japan in their lineup. So Okabayashi stepping in, and the first pitch is a fastball that just misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Okabayashi batting from the left side. He is a speedster. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line. It is slicing into that temporary seating, and then it goes off some hands, and it jumps over the netting into the regular seating, and that's going to run the count to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Okabayashi hitting from the left side here against the right-hander who delivers a fastball. It's swung on, it's tapped softly over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Shin, who throws to first, and Okabayashi's in the books on a ground out, 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away for Samurai Japan, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Isami Nomura. Well, for Nomura, he's getting the start at third base for the Japanese in this one, coming off a really decent playoff run. And I'm not sure what is happening here. Is the umpire, Jen Powell, has come out. Looks like that the pitcher for the Koreans working a little bit quickly, and there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to slice its way into the seats, and the count quickly 0-1 to Nomura. Nomura had some big moments in the playoffs for the Fukuoka Ball Club. He had a couple of home runs in the series against the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. As the right-hander ready to go back to work again. As I say, we're probably going to have to try to get ourselves a B feed here, because our A feed is stinking it up left and right. And we'll have to see how that is going to work out. So we've got ourselves in a little bit of a situation where we are locked up. So hang tight, everybody. We'll get you back to the live action as quickly as possible. As there is a pitch that just misses down. But So we'll see if we can catch up with the action here. And so sorry, I have to apologize to everybody for this, but that is what you get when you're trying to give you the live feed. And we've got 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Nomura. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball that misses down. Very interesting delivery here from the right-hander Guac, as he's a real short armor. Does not have much of a take back. He just brings it right up and then he fires. He reminds me of that Dylan Thorpe. As there's a fastball that misses inside, it's now full to Nomura. Dylan Thorpe, of course, was originally a top prospect in the Yankees organization. As the right-hander again rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is the second baseman, now being called off by the right fielder. And it will be On who's going to haul that one in for the second out. As Nomura is in the books, and that is 2 gone here. It'll bring up the right fielder in Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, he was on the losing end of the Japan series recently. The Hanshin Tiger right fielder getting the start here for Samurai Japan in this one. He takes a breaking ball down, and the count is 1-0. Lots of Hanshin Tiger fans in the stands this evening, cheering on their beloved Tiger as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I have to say, I do like Morishita. That is a punch that they pack with him and Sato back-to-back in that Tiger lineup. As there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1 on Morishita. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander ready again. Rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander again rocking into the windup and delivers. Fastball just misses inside, almost hits Morishita. Moves him off the plate. And the count is now full. Curious to see exactly what the Koreans will roll out pitching-wise tonight here against the Japanese team, and how they will use their pitchers. There's a fastball swung on that grounded foul just down the line at third base, and the count is going to remain at 3-2 to Morishita. Both of these teams, I would expect they're not going to be taking their starters particularly deep. I'm sure their clubs have probably got them on a pitch count. Wake Up the Rooster is in here with us. We're glad you can make it in. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Oh, a nice play on the backhand side by the third baseman, Rowe. Gets up and fires to first, and it's a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for Samurai Japan as they go in order. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through 1 complete. Your score is the Koreans 0 and the Japanese 0, and we'll be back with the top of the second inning. Just a couple of moments. Hopefully everything is settled down for us, as it would be for you guys as well. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we'll be right back with all the action just after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Roe, Moon, and Park to come to bat here against Satani in inning number 2. Both teams looking to get their first base runner, as the Koreans will come to bat here with the heart of the order. Our friend Wake Up the Rooster says, is this the WCBC teams or a different league? It's the national teams, but none of the major league players for either country are in the lineups here for this one. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Roe. Rowe plays his ball in the KBO with the Hanwha Eagles. Big fella batting from the right side as the lefty ready to deliver. And that's going to be one of those nights here. We were talking about it earlier, where we're just going to have, I have a feeling, a night or bit after bit after bit of having to worry about the stream. Stream tonight looks like it is a little bit on the slow side or the laggard side. So hopefully you guys can bear with us as we wait here on this one here. So back to the classic question, there are going to be some of these players that I would anticipate are going to be on the World Baseball Classic team, such as Okamoto, the third baseman for the Giants, who is about to be or has been posted to Major League Baseball. That is one. Another one that is potentially going to be posted or going to be on his way, I would have to think, is going to be a couple of the others. We're just going to get back here, as it is still Rowe at the plate. So hopefully I can get caught up here on what that was. So we've got a different angle here for us. A fastball swung on and lifted foul. I've got 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rowe. So we are falling behind a little bit here when we lose our stream. And unfortunately, when that happens, I also have to tap out of the chat. So that way I'm not looking right at you guys. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the left-hander Satani ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Count goes to 3-2. One of the things that is happening here as well, they are playing by the World Baseball Classic rules. So they are using a pitch clock. They're using the pitch calm are the catchers. And they had to get used to it. And they've got a Major League Baseball umpire at the plate and at second base tonight. Fastball swung on. This is popped up right by home plate. Underneath it is Sakamoto, and he's going to be there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Rowe for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and that is going to bring up Bo Kyung Moon to the plate. And as I mentioned tonight, if you are looking for a stream yourselves, Amazon Prime Japan is the place where you guys want to head to, as they are going to be picking up the games if you can get yourself into that spot. So here comes to the plate. This is Bo Kyung Moon, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Moon is one of the 4 LG twins in the starting lineup tonight. He gets the nod at first base. Hit 276 in the KBO. He drove in over 100 runs this year as he takes a breaking ball inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Batting from the left side here against the left-hander Satani, as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that just catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. I got to tell you, here in the early going, I have to say that Jen Powell, who is doing the game behind the plate, I'd be curious to know what her umpire's scorecard would look like after this one. We're already in the second inning, and the reaction of some of the players, not a good one. There's a fastball, just misses at 94 miles an hour off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Satani ready to go again, holding set at the belt, and he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They do have some big fellows in the lineup to the Koreans. Of course, the third baseman Rowe, who we commented on, who had just hit, and this fella Moon here as well. Both some pretty big fellas. There was a fastball swung on his chop, softly foul over on the first baseline, fielded in foul territory by the first baseman of the Japanese, Tai Sasaki, and the count remains at 2-2. So back to the question a bit that was asked earlier by our friend the Rooster. are these the World Baseball Classic teams? There will be some players. When I look at the roster of Japan, I would think that Morishita has a chance. Okamoto's got a chance. Maki's got a chance. That heart of the order. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field, moving over toward the foul line and running to make the catch is the left fielder Nishikawa. And that is going to retire Moon for the second out of the innings. So 2 quick outs here, and that'll bring up the catcher in Dongwon Park. So back to some of the other players. The veteran Sakamoto behind the plate, he could be considered. I'm not sure that he gets a spot or not. But some of the younger blood that you have here in Tai Suzaki at first and also the left fielder Misho Nishikawa. So a couple of the players, I don't think they're going to be in this part of the Classic. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to third, sliding to his glove side to make the play. Getting up and firing to first is Nomura, and he picks up right where he leaves off. It's a ground out 5-3, as he was in the Japan series. Pretty decent, and he is flashing the leather here in this one. Well, that is going to do it here for Korea. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We'll be back in just a couple of moments, and hopefully we can get this all sorted out. And we got our good, steady stream the rest of the night. We'll be right back with you. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 2, it is 0-0 between Korea and Japan. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after this from our good friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And coming to bat is going to be one of the ones we talked about, Kaz Okamoto, the Giants, in this game, designated hitter, but he plays first and third base. He is going to be posted to Major League Baseball. Okamoto takes a first pitch breaking ball for a ball up and in. And there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 2-0. He is considered to have some of the more serious pop, but he is a little later in years, no longer what you would consider a prospect, being that he's over the age of 25. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Coming in and with room to make the catch is the center fielder, Heyman Park, and that is going to retire Okamoto for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. I was saying earlier, kind of curious to see exactly how many pitchers they'll go through in this series, as the first pitch delivered to Maki is taken for a fastball under the hands for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As I mentioned, Morishita, Okamoto, and Maki, at least in my eyes, would be 3 players barring health, as there's a fastball swung on it, is popped up behind home plate, giving chase. And with room to make the catch right by the Korean dugout is the catcher, Dongwon Park. And that is going to retire Maki for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Kaido Kazono. I remember last year when the or earlier, was it last year or earlier this year when the Japanese played the Czech Republic? The games went by very, very quick. It was a couple hours to take care of the games. As the right-hander quickly delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-0. One ball and no strikes. I'm also curious to know how fast these games will move along with the pitch clock. There is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Kazono. Kazono getting the start at shortstop here tonight. The Hiroshima Carp infielder, as the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on it, is slapped over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop, Juwon Kim, and he side slings it with a loop to first. That is going to retire Kazono. He goes in the books on a ground out, 6-3. And just like that, Japan is 3 up, 3 down as well in their half. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are through 2 complete innings at the Tokyo Dome, and we are yet to have a base runner for either team. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Stay with us, everybody. We'll keep you entertained with our good friend, Steve Rademacher.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Be sure to check out Steve Rademacher after the game. We'll be back in just a couple with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It has been fast, as this is already the third inning coming up here, as both of these teams are moving quickly on and off the field. It is 6 up and 6 down so far, as that is what we have between these two ball clubs. It is coming to bat here for the Koreans, the bottom third of the batting order, to face Satani here in inning number 3. We were talking about the pitch comm, also the clock, the pitch clock that'll be used in the World Baseball Classic. So both of these nations getting used to that, as they don't play with that either. The 21-year-old Hyun Bin Moon at the plate, and the first pitch from Satani is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Moon is with the Hanwha Eagles. He hit .320 this year in the KBO with 12 homers and 80 RBIs. I don't have a listing of his height, but he looks like a little bit larger than a life fire hydrant, as he is built very, very stocky and low to the ground. As he swings and fouls that pitch away into the seats down the third base line, and the count's even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Satani kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's chopped foul over on the first base side. And the count now goes to 1-2. For those of you who are just joining us, we'll try to give you tomorrow night as well. We'll do the best we can. We're not with our reliable feeds. As we mentioned earlier, if you are in the hunt, Amazon Prime Japan is carrying the games. I thought maybe DAZN might do something, but they are not. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The catcher, Sakamoto, stops it, and he tags Moon, and he is walking back to the dugout for the first out of the inning. That's the second strikeout recorded by Satani in this one. Unable to hold up his swing, and it made it an easy call for Jen Powell to ring him up. Well, that brings Juwon Kim to the plate. Kim has made a nice play defensively, as he is the shortstop for the NC Dinos. as he steps up to the plate. The only player from the Dinos in the lineup tonight. And as there's a breaking ball down, they appeal over to the first base umpire. And up goes the right hand as Kim has gone around too far, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. The 23-year-old right-handed hitting shortstop of the Dinos at .289 with 15 homers and 65 runs batted in during the 2025 season. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count goes even to 1-1 on Kim. Satani working himself to the belt now delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Kim. Boy, if they could have the pace of this game in the NPB, you could probably play double headers on weeknights. This game is moving at a clip. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball misses way outside. The count goes to 2-2 on Kim. You'd have to think that the advantage has got to go to the pitchers in this one, as they, of course, they don't really see one another, these two groups here, as they're obviously playing in different leagues. There's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow left field. With plenty of room and space is the left fielder Nishikawa. As he calls everybody off, he makes the catch. And Kim is retired for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the center fielder in Heyman Park. Well, for Park, he is the fourth LG twin in the lineup. We mentioned earlier that the second baseman Shin, the first baseman Moon, the catcher Park, and of course this Park as well, as he squares to bunt and he pulls back and the fastball misses upstairs. Count is 1 and no strikes. So 1 and no strike it is. They are playing him very deep in the middle infield. Both Shugomaki and the shortstop Kazono are basically in the outfield. There's the breaking ball that misses, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Heyman Park. Park is the 35-year-old center fielder, getting the nod in this one. As we've mentioned, is a blend of veterans and younger stars. As the pitch is on the way, he squares to bunt and then pulls back and takes a strike at the knees. Count now goes to 2-1 on Park. 35 years old, still getting the nod to play in center field is very impressive. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Pitch on the way, fastball swung through and missed. Count now is at 2-2. That pitch there clocked in at our gun at 93 miles per hour. So 2 strikes as Satani kicks and fires. Fastball swung on it as chopped foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 strikes. If you've just joined us, we're in the top of the third inning. Korea and Japan locked at zeros. We are looking for the first base runner in this one, as neither team has put anybody on base yet. There's a breaking ball swung on and another one chopped foul over on the first base side. And the count remains at 2 strikes. I don't remember seeing a lot of Satani this year with the Buffaloes. I know, as we mentioned at the top of the stream, he was a even 500 record at 8-8 in 21 starts. But I didn't get a whole lot of view time of him. There's a ground ball hit softly to second. Mackey fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to do it. Park is in the books on a ground out 4-3. So 9 up and 9 retired by Satani here so far in this one. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Be curious to see if he's going to come back out for another inning, where his pitch counts are at and what they choose to do with them. But we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this. It is 0-0 between Korea and Japan. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom third of the order for Samurai Japan to come to bat here. It'll be Misho Nishikawa, Seishiro Sakamoto, and Tai Sasaki, as they are going to be set to face the starter Bin Guak, who will be coming on for yet another of his innings of work. We're just waiting for the action to resume here. As one of the things that I find interesting is the first pitch is on the way to Nishikawa. It's a fastball swung on. It is going to be lined just past the glove of the second baseman into right field. So for the first time, we have a base runner here tonight, as Misho Nishikawa has got himself a single, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Seishiro Sakamoto. So I'm curious to see if they are going to do what they do best and if they're going to start nickeling and diming these two teams. Sakamoto, the catcher for the Hanshin Tigers. Opportunity to drop a sacrifice bunt down here. So Nishikawa aboard with the first hit of the ball game. As we mentioned, at a premium here for both of the nations here. He's got 1 foot on the proverbial grass, or on the turf, and 1 on the dirt. Sakamoto shows no signs of bunting, and he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Sakamoto, the 32-year-old, batting from the right side here, hit .247 with a couple of homers and 27 RBIs for the Tigers. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count runs even to 1-1. When you look at the lineups here tonight, I was a little surprised by some of the players not in the lineups, or at least not on the roster, at least where it is now. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. If I remember right, I thought in the initial roster we would have saw Chusei Manami from the Kaido Nippon Ham Fighters, but he is not on the roster for this series. Here comes the 2-1 to Sakamoto. It's a fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes even at 2-2. So be curious to see how the managers will play this out, if they were going to nickel and dime it and go with some small ball, or if they're just going to let the hitters swing it out. Well, I guess we have our answer here with Sakamoto, as the 2-2 pitch on its way. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. And the count remains at 2-2. After this 2-game series is complete, we'll probably go dark for the lives for quite a while, as that fastball misses inside. In fact, almost hits Sakamoto, and the count now runs full to 3-2. I say that because not a lot of action until the World Baseball Classic, and our Filipino friend who had popped in here earlier was saying about a tune-up for that. Be a tune-up for us as well. There's a ball that's thrown over to first base, and diving back in time is Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sakamoto. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to third. It's backhanded by Rowe. He fires across the diamond. His only play is to first base, as Nishikawa was running with the pitch. He's going to stop at second base. It's going to go on the books as a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1. And so now Nishikawa in scoring position. That'll bring up the first baseman of the Carp, and Tai Sasaki. So a couple players who we haven't seen regular. The 22-year-old Sasaki takes a first pitch breaking ball upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Sasaki hit .271 in 181 at-bats for the Carp. Didn't have any homers, and he drove in 6 runs. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. Coming in underneath it and making the catch in foul territory is the first baseman for Korea. That is Bo Kyung-moon. And that will retire Sasaki for the second out of the innings. So 2 gone. Will bring up the top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi. Well, for Okabayashi, he is officially 0 for 1. He has grounded out to second his only trip to the plate, as he had led off the ball game for Japan. Takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander works himself into the set pitch on the way. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away right in the feet of the catcher. As Park retrieves it, and the count is quickly 0-2 to Okabayashi. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the pitch on the way, as a fastball swung on it, is lifted into deep left field, moving back on it and making the catch as the left fielder Moon. Oh, that was an interesting route to the ball. They weren't playing Okabayashi very deep, and the young left fielder had to turn and make a run. That is a very interesting piece. But he is going to be retired, Okabayashi, for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it for Samurai Japan. Well, we had our first base runner, the base hit by Misho Nishikawa to get the party started here in the 3rd. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. 3rd of the ball game in the books. Your score is Samurai Japan 0 and Korea 0. Top of the 4th coming up in just a couple of moments. Hope you guys can stay here with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. More action to follow. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into the top of the 4th inning, as it is Samurai Japan and Korea who are at a premium, but it looks like we are going to have ourselves a pitching change. Satani's night is done, and we'll get you that one for you here. That's what we were curious to know, is who is going to, or how are they going to be managing their pitching here in this one. And so they have, it's going to be Daisuke Moriura, who is coming in to pitch, the Hiroshima Carpa left-hander. So he will take over here in this one, the 27-year-old. I have to tell you, when I look at Daisuke Moriura, he looks like he is more than 27. So I'm curious to see how many innings that he is going to work. And what they do is average fastball, well, is in kilometers, 148.3 kilometers. And for those of you, that would probably be in the low 90s. I'd say probably 92 or 93 mile an hour fastball. Well, coming to the plate, it's the top of the order, and this is going to be the lefty. This is Min Jae Shin, the second baseman. He takes a breaking ball down and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Batting from the left side is Shin, as the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As we mentioned, they're using the pitch comm tonight. So you look at Moriura, he puts his glove up to his ear to be able to get the pitch from his catcher as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined just past the glove of Shugomaki into center field for a base hit. And just like that, the Koreans have their first hit of the evening. So both teams now have checked in with a base knock, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Hyun Min An. This game here so far has been at a very, very electric pace, as we are in the top of the 4th inning and only with a scoreline with nobody to show for anything yet. Some of our gambling friends like to come in and tell us what they picked. We haven't seen too many of those tonight. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to on. Usually the first 5 innings would be something in the Japanese league, and I'm sure in the Korean league too, that a lot of people would gamble on. I don't know how you would do it tonight, especially when you have pitchers not knowing how they're going to use the staffs. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 15 seconds when nobody's on base, 18 seconds when there is a runner on base. That is the rules. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run off the bat of On as he has put that ball about 10 rows into the left center field seats. And the Koreans have jumped up on top here with a 2-0 lead. So a single by Shin and a 2-run shot by On, but the impressive part of that entire piece was the bat flip delivered by On. So 2-0, the Koreans are out in front. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Seung-Wen Song. I have to tell you, the Carp left-hander here, not showing a lot of reason to be coming back out for another inning as he delivers a first pitch fastball that misses inside to Song, and the count is 1-0. Yeah, our friend Wake Up the Rooster says that was gone. Yeah, it got out in a hurry. And there is a fastball that misses down in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-0. So far, since entering into the ball game, Moriera has delivered, at least on our counts, 8 pitches at this point. And of his 8 pitches, here's pitch number 9. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field, and this ball could be trouble if it stays fair. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run off the bat of Seung-Wen Song. And the Korean fans are in an absolute frenzy. So back-to-back homers here by Korea. A 2-run shot off the bat of On and a solo shot by Song have made the scoreline 3-0 for the Koreans. Our friend Wake Up the Rooster says, sorry, I have you delayed a minute from my live stream. Yeah, we are a bit behind here, not in our normal setting. And interesting, I commented during the season when we were calling the Japanese games that when I was in the stands in Chiba, there was approximately 15-second delay, maybe even more, 20 seconds between the feed that I would have on my phone and the game that was going on. So 3-0 here as they find it. There was a conference on the mound, and the pitch coming here is a slow breaking ball, waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Rowe. Rowe popped out to the catcher his first time up. The big third baseman's made a couple of nice plays so far tonight in this one. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2, and you can see Rowe not really happy with the call from the home plate umpire. I was about to say, I was ready to give everybody a interesting stat, and I was going to say Moriera having a hard time throwing strikes as he delivers a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to Namura at third. He fields it, fires across the diamond, and that is going to retire Rowe for the first out of the inning on a ground out 5-3. So 1 gone here, and that's going to bring up the first baseman in Bo Kyung Moon. Our friend Wake Up the Rooster says, I'm actually ahead of him by a minute. Yeah, I was saying about back to the streams, watching the game in Chiba on my phone while the game's going on in front of me was about a 20-second delay. There's a breaking ball delivered and taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Moon. The problem is that also the application that we use, sometimes there's a 7-second delay. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So Moriera has started to settle in here after spotting the Koreans 3 runs here in the inning. And here comes the 0-2 pitch on its way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Korea with a 3-0 lead. Pitch on the way from Moriura. Fastball swung on and hammered foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 0-2. The ball's 2 strikes. I find that interesting with how is it live or is it not? How people will be actually able to, I guess, bet using the live applications in the gambling world. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back and making a catch just in front of the warning track is the right fielder Morishita. Moon hardly looked like he hit it. He just sort of threw the bat out at it, and that ball went a long way. That is going to retire the first baseman of the Koreans for the second out of the innings. So 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it all up to the catcher in Dongwon Park. So if you've just joined us, a single by Shin, a 2-run shot by On, and another homer by Song have the Koreans out in front. There's a breaking ball taken for called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Park. Park 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to third his first time up. As the left-hander holds himself to the set, now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up into left center field, moving back and now moving underneath it there to make the catch is Okabayashi. And Park is going to be retired for the third out of the inning, but damage done and lots of it. A crooked number here for the Koreans. 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and there was nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 4. It is Korea 3 and Samurai Japan no score. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to the plate for Samurai Japan. That means Asami Nomura, Shota Morishita, and Kaz Okamoto. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. The Koreans are staying with the right-hander Guakas right now. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 1-1. I'm curious to see what the leash on him would be. And this one here tonight, as the 1-1 is on the way, a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Nomura, as we mentioned, he flew out to right field his first time up. He had quite the series, as the pitch on the way is a fastball swung through and missed. I should say, quite the series, quite the playoffs. He had a couple of home runs against the Fighters. He had a big home run in the Japan series in extra innings for Fukuoka to break up the tie and pace them to a victory over the Tigers as that fastball was swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. Our friend Jimmy in the house, we welcome you to the stream tonight. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and tap foul. That is going to be behind home plate. The count goes to 2-2. It is Korea and Japan from the Tokyo Dome. As the right-hander Guak kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 2s to Nomura. It's turning into a bit of a marathon here, as it is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now runs full. 3-2. Our friend Jimmy, a little bit early for him today. I don't know if he's working today or if it's just in his DNA now to get up at this time of the morning. And there's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire as they want to see if they had gone around, but no, sir, says the first base umpire. It's going to be ball 4, and Nomura is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 4th. That is going to bring up the right fielder in Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, he is 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to third his first time up, as he has requested time as he steps out of the batter's box and now gets himself settled back in. As the right-hander Guak delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. My friend Jimmy says he just made the baby a bottle. Now he is heading to work. Got a Saturday going for him. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Good for you, Jimmy. 1 ball and 1 strike to Morishita. Jimmy, one of our consistent regulars, glad to always have him in, even if it's for a few minutes or for the drive time to work. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into center field, coming hard, sliding and making the catch. Is the center fielder. Oh, what a beautiful play by the veteran, the 35-year-old Park, sliding to make the catch. And that is going to retire Morishita for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It'll bring up the designated hitter in Kaz Okamoto. And we have the Japanese manager has come out. So I wonder if they're going to be making a substitution here, or what they are asking for here at this point. He has the interpreter and, of course, the lady, Jen Powell, behind the plate, calling the balls and the strikes. So we'll wait to see if there is going to be a change, if Okamoto's night is done quickly. The center fielder Park already going into his back pocket for a lineup card, doing some studying. And it does look like we are going to have ourselves a pinch hitter. They're already going to the bench. So Okamoto gets 1 token at bat. His day is done. It is going to be Yuhei Nakamura, the catcher for the Swallows, who's going to get an opportunity here to swing the bat. So Okamoto gets a guest appearance, and his day is done. Interesting here. So Yuhei Nakamura, as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Nomura. So Kaz Okamoto might be one of his last at-bats at the Tokyo Dome, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Jimmy Redbird says, is a Park the same guy from Pittsburgh or a different guy? No, different guy for sure. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled straight back. The thing here is that none of the players in this game here tonight are playing in Major League Baseball. Everybody's either in the KBO or in the NPB. As the 0-2 pitch on its way, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. I saw an interesting report this week that the Venezuelan players that play in the NPB will not be insured to play in the Classic. I don't understand the reasoning for that. I'm going to have to go and do a deeper dive. I don't know, though, what Venezuelan players would be available to be able to make Team Venezuela. Pitches a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. And I have to give a hard thought on that as well. Who would have a opportunity? I would think there might be some pitchers, but I don't know. I can't remember if Machado or if Perdomo would be that. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lined into left field. It's going to be extra bases. It's down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Nomura. Cruising into second is Yuhei Nakamura, and he's got himself a one-out double, and the Japanese are threatening here, coming right back after serving up 3 runs to the Koreans in the top half of the fourth. They've now got runners at second and third with 1 gone, and it's going to bring the dangerous Shugo Maki to the plate. So Shugo Maki officially 0 for 1 tonight, and it also brings a conference to the mound. The Koreans do have action in their bullpen, as they've got a right-hander up and throwing. It is Lee. I think in this situation here, I would be holding the 4 fingers up to walk Maki, set up a force at any base, potentially for a double play, and take your chances with Kaito Kazono. Now, that's the problem, because Kazono was the top hitter in the Central League. So you have to pick your poison. Maki had missed quite a bit of time this year through injury, so maybe they'll at least start with Maki and see if they can induce him to swing at a bad pitch. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down and away for ball 1. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Maki extends the arms away from his body, and there's a breaking ball swung on it. His chopped foul just past the bag at third base, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Rooster is pruning his feathers as he is pulling for Japan to start getting going here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander Guak kicks and delivers. There's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. This is a dangerous part of the batting order here for the Japanese. A couple runners on, 1 gone, and the pitch to Maki on the way. Fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. That's going to get 1 run in. And stopping at third is Nakamura. An RBI single off the bat of Maki here, and they have cut the lead to 3-1. Nakamura stopping over at third. Nomura scoring the first run of the ball game for Samurai Japan, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Kaito Kazono. Well, for Kazono, 0 for 1 tonight, grounding to short his first time up. Coming to bat here to face, but it looks like that is going to be the end of the night for Guak. And it looks like that maybe we have ourselves, and it looks like it's the end of the night for Shugo Maki, as we do have a runner over at first base. So we got changes all over the place. We'll get you that when we come back in just a moment. Looks like it is going to be another base star who is going to be doing some base running, as that is going to be Taiki Ishikami. So he is coming in to run for the aforementioned Shugo Maki. So they are using their bench early and often here tonight. And that is what we exactly expect. So Ishigami is in, Maki is out after doing his job, and we're going to take a little time out as we do have ourselves a pitching change. We'll come back in just a couple moments, get you caught up on that in just a few. We'll be right back after this little time out. From our friend Steve Rademacher, be sure to check him out when you get a chance.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 3-1 for the Koreans. They scored all three of their runs in the top half of the fourth inning, and the Japanese are flexing their muscles as they've got one back here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitching change has been made. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Roeun Lee, who is coming on in relief, as he will take over for the starter, Guak, who is left here after 3 1/3 innings. Well, he is responsible for the runners on the corners. That is Nakamura is the runner at third. Shigami has come in to run for Maki. He is at first, and it's Kaito Kazono who is slated to come to bat. Well, that is exactly who it is, batting from the left side here, as he will be facing the right-hander here. And the first pitch to Kazono was taken for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up down the left field line, and it's going to slice into the seats. And the count is 1-1 on Kazono. As I mentioned earlier, a little surprised that maybe Sakamoto in the last half inning, it wasn't dropping bunts, and maybe they've decided to shelve the small ball for this one, which would be disappointing. There's a fastball that swung on it. It can be lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The runner, Shigami, was in motion, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So I wouldn't be surprised they did it again, maybe to try to stay out of the double play. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and pop foul into the seats just past the third base dugout. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner, Ishigami. Yeah, unfortunate what goes on in our society these days, and can't really comment too much about it. They pitch out to the batter here. You don't see a lot of pitch outs these days in Major League Baseball. I was thinking about that the other day. That's one part of the game that has changed a lot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kazono. Our friend Redbeard says, instead of putting on our rally caps, let's put on our samurai hats and bring out the swords. Let's go Japan. Indeed, indeed. There was a changeup that was hammered foul over on the first base side. Count remains here at 2-2 to Kazono. So the right-hander Lee delivers. There's a changeup swung on and missed. Kazono was way out in front. He's going to be retired. Stealing second on the play is Ishigami, so that's taken away the force. So Kazono gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder in Misho Nishikawa, and he had the first hit of the game for Japan in the third inning. He's going to get an opportunity to see if he can play the hero here to punch a couple of more runs across for Samurai Japan. And the first pitch from Lee is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into the right field corner, and that'll do the job. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Rounding first and heading into second with a 2-run double is Nishikawa. His second hit of the night, and we are all locked back up at 3 here. So back from where we started, all tied all over again. So just as the Koreans score 3 in their top of the fourth inning, the Japanese respond with 3 of their own here in the fourth. And that is going to bring the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto, to the plate. Well, for Sakamoto, 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out to third his first time up. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. It's one way to announce your presence is to punch right back. That's what the Koreans needed, was a 0 put up on the board. And it's been anything but that. As that fastball misses down, it's now 2-0 to Sakamoto. So 3-3 the scoreline as the right-hander Lee delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. I have to tell you, the pitcher Lee here looks like he has not missed many meals. He is a stocky fella, much like the third baseman and first baseman of the Koreans. Fastball misses up and in. The count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. They do have the open base, and it is Tai Sasaki waiting on deck. There's a fastball that misses up and in. It's going to be ball 4, and it looks like the Korean reliever has forgotten how to throw strikes. That's going to put runners at first and second. It'll bring Tai Sasaki to the plate. So 2 gone, and he's the 8th hitter to come to bat in the inning, and it looks like the Koreans... Are we going to have another pitching change here? Has the manager seen enough? It looks like he's coming out to talk to Jen Powell. It looks like Lee's day is done. It looks like they got a lot of people down in the bullpen, and we're not sure which one's going to be coming in, but there is going to be a pitching change. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. 3-3 is the scoreline. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool. To go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini. To go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Be sure to check out Steve Rademacher after the game. We'll get you caught up on the pitching change in just a couple of moments when we return. Appreciate Jimmy for stepping in. He said he'll be listening, but he has to drive to work, and we'll look forward to catching up to you when we can. It'll be Kim Taek-yoon Kim coming in, and we'll be right back in just a couple moments.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a right-hander, and it is going to be Taek-yoon Kim who is coming on in relief for the Koreans. It is 3 batters that the right-hander Roeun Lee had faced, and he had struck out the first batter he faced in Kazono, and then it was a 2-run double off the bat at Nishikawa and a walk to Sakamoto. It chased him to the showers pretty much straight away. There is the 3-batter rule that is also in place, and so, of course, these two teams are getting used to it as they get prepared for the World Baseball Classic 2026 version. And so we are ready to resume the action, and the first pitch delivered to Tai Sasaki is a breaking ball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1-0 And the right-hander delivers another pitch. That pitch looked pretty darn good, and that just misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2-0 it is to Sasaki. Right-hander again, back to work, kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses up and in. It's now 3-0. The leadoff hitter, Yuki Okabayashi, would be the ninth hitter to come to the plate. Should Sasaki reach here? 3-0. So it looks like the Koreans have forgotten to throw a strike, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4, and Sasaki's aboard with a walk. That is going to advance Nishikawa to third and Sakamoto over to second. And it brings Okabayashi up to the plate. So Okabayashi steps to the dish, and the first pitch that he sees is grounded up the middle. It is fielded neatly by the second baseman, Shin, who underhand glove flips it over to the shortstop covering, and that is going to retire Sasaki on a fielder's choice, 4-6 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for Japan in their half of the inning. Well, they send 9 batters to the plate. They get 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Your score as we move now to the top of the 5th inning. It is the Koreans 3 and the Japanese 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this musical timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Koreans in their half of the 5th inning. It'll be Moon, Kim, and Park. But the player right now having himself a night has been the left fielder. That is Misho Nishikawa. Has 2 hits in his 2 trips to the plate, a single, a double, and he's knocked in a pair of runs for the Japanese so far in this one tonight. Well, we are ready to resume the action, as it is yet another pitching change for the Japans. It's going to be Yuki Matsumoto. The right-hander is coming to the ball game a little bit early for him, I would think, as it looks like that there has been some movement in the infield, as Ishikami is going to take over at second base for Shigomaki. So Matsumoto coming on in here in replace of Daisuke Moriura. So Matsumoto on in relief. And he is slated to face Moon, Kim, and Park. And the first pitch to the left fielder is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Hyun Bin Moon struck out his first time up. So 0 for 1 here tonight, as the right-hander works himself into the set now delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count goes now to 0-2. Interesting that they were going to use Matsumoto here in this situation. You can see a lot of back-end opportunities for Fukuoka. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On its way, fastball swung on a line right off the pitcher's mound over to first base. Is that going to be a fair ball or what? Did it hit the pitcher? That ball was absolutely rocking it back. That is a really, really, really weird play. I don't know if it hit the... Wow, here's what happened. So the home plate umpire has gone up with the right hand. The ball had hit the foot of Matsumoto, had kicked up into the air over in the first base side in foul territory, and it was caught by the first baseman, Sasaki. Now, it looks like the umpires are going to get together because the first base coach is in disbelief. He doesn't think that it hit the ground, so the umpires are going to get together and talk about it. Jen Powell had ruled it as an out. So this will be the first little bit of controversy. We're going to have to get a look at it ourselves, but that was bizarre. So it looked like it had hit the ground in front of Matsumoto. The ball had deflected up in the air over in foul territory over on the first base side, where the ball was caught by Sasaki, the first base coach for the Koreans. Couldn't believe that is the call. We're going to have to wait and see here. Here, we're going to get our first look at the replay. Ball was absolutely missiled. It did catch the foot of the pitcher, went high up into the air. That may be one of the wildest putouts we're ever going to see. 1-3. We'll get a look at it again. Boy, he might have actually taken that one flush right off his foot. I don't know if they're going to have to go up and take a look at this one or if they're going to have to do a review. Matsumoto's getting a couple of tune-up tosses. The ball was absolutely driven right off his foot, ended up in the air. And if this does hold, it's going to be a 1-3 putout. How often do you see a pop fly in the air on the catch? That's very, very interesting. So the umpires are getting together and they're having themselves a conference. We'll see if they get this one right. That was one of the stranger plays that you're going to see in a while. I mean, there's sometimes you get some weird plays. You get games that'll have some strange events. And then you go a long stretch and you just see pretty much normal baseball, pretty much the same thing all the time. And then you get this. I saw something weird in a youth game years ago because on the youth field, sometimes the pitcher's rubbers are not as well taken care of or manicured like they are in Major League Baseball. And a ball had come back and it hit the pitcher's rubber and then had gone into foul territory. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen it since. When you're around the field, especially when you're at parks where they are not the grade of a college caliber type field or a Major League standard type field or even a minor league standard field. So we're waiting here to see what they come and decide. The manager for Korea is pointing to the ground saying that he thinks it is hit, but this delay here with the umpires has gone on for quite a while as they're discussing this. I think what they ought to do is just make the call as the out call and then let the Koreans challenge it, and then they'd have to go to the replay. So let's see what happens here. And that is exactly what's going to happen. They have ruled that it is an out. The Korean manager comes out waggling his finger. And I think now he wants to go to a replay on this. So he has got the interpreter. He is talking to what appears to be the crew chief. It looks like that the umpire at second base, the American umpire, is the crew chief for this. And he is not very happy at all. So we have a heated discussion here between the Korean manager, Ryu, and he is giving it to the interpreter. I wonder how those discussions would go. But as I said, when we looked at the replay, it certainly looked like it did hit the foot and then everything else. Our friend Rob says, just tuning in, what have I missed? The starting lineups? Yeah, you've missed a lot. We have a bit of a delay that's going on right now as the pitcher, Yuki Matsumoto, who has come on in relief here in the fifth inning, delivered the pitch, and it was a comebacker, and it had hit him. Ooh, I think the Koreans have a case. I think it did hit the ground. Anyways, what I ended up doing is they ruled that the ball had hit that it had hit Matsumoto, and it was popped up in the air and it ended up over and caught by Sasaki. And it looks like he's walking off the field. I don't know if they have replay in this here or not, but Ryu is the manager, and it looks like he's going to lose his case. We got to look at the last replay, and it looked like the ball did, in fact, on the different angle, hit the dirt and then went off the foot of the pitcher. And it was caught by the first baseman, Sasaki. The best angle would have been off the side. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Koreans not going to win that case in Tokyo. So that's going to be as a putout. It's going to go 1-3. One of the stranger plays you're ever going to see. That is the first out. And the first pitch now delivered to Kim is a fastball that misses, and the count is 1-0. Pitch on the way to the shortstop. Kim swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by Sasaki, throws to the pitcher covering, and Matsumoto gets it. It's going to be a ground out 3-1. So just as the put out a moment ago went 1-3, now it goes 3-1 the other way. Wake Up the Rooster says they should just look at the ball. There could be dirt on it. Yeah, you know what? With them changing the ball every single time, you'd have to think that might have been an option. Well, that brings Heyman Park to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So Moon will feel hard done by. That would have been a base hit for him, potentially, that's taken off the board. Fastball swung on, grounded to first. Sasaki fields it. He's going to take it himself. It's going to go as a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Koreans in their half of the fifth. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. That was one strange inning in the top of the fifth. We're moving to the bottom of the fifth, and your score is all locked up. Japan 3, Korea 3. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this timeout.
Hello, everybody, and you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the King of Kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. 3 a.m. baseball and Red Vines. Happy Saturday. Absolutely. We are glad you guys could wander in here with us tonight for all the action here. We do have looks like we may have ourselves another pitching change. We'll get that for you here in just a moment. Or do we have they stuck around with the same reliever? No, it is going to be Taekyon Kim still in the ball game. So he is going to be slated to face. It's going to be Nomura as he swings through a first pitch, and the count is quickly 1-1. Nomura got the party started in the last half inning with a walk. He scored a run. So no balls and 1 strike here as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes even to 1-1. Nomura, Morishita, and Yuhei Nakamura are the batters slated to come to bat here in inning number 5 for Japan as that breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and I don't think Nomura appreciated that, as it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the right-hander ready to go again. He rocks and delivers. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now our friend Wake Up the Rooster says the old shoe polish play back in the day when players used to shine their shoes. You could see that as well. There's a breaking ball that's down, and the count goes to 3-2 on Nomura. I remember that as a kid that they would always say, look for the shoe polish, but we don't polish the shoes anymore. That's for certain. There's a fastball that swung on, and it is lifted into deep left field. I don't think it's going to be deep enough onto the edge of the warning track. Oh, but he lost sight of the ball. Was Moon, and it ends up dropping into foul territory. Foul. Or did it hit something up above? That was really, really strange. We're going to have to get a look at that one. Nomura had cruised into second base. So what do we have here? We're going to look at the replay. Ball was a high fastball. He got underneath it, hit the ball up into the air, and it may hit the roof of the Tokyo Dome. And that's exactly what happened. And so Jen Powell, who's the home plate umpire, she's holding up two fingers to indicate that it's a ground rule double. And now we've got the umpires have come in here to have a conference as the manager Ryu has come out. So craziness over here in the last couple innings. And now the umpiring crew is going to have to get together again because they've got to find out what the ground rule is here if it hits the stadium roof. Certainly in Tampa Bay, if it hits the catwalk, it is in play, and all the Koreans are having a laugh as Nomura, standing at second base, having a good chuckle as well as the ball hit the roof. No wonder the left fielder Moon, he was coming in, looked like he was ready to make the catch, and then the ball was nowhere near him. And Nomura is getting a good chuckle of it over at second base, so we'll have to see how they rule it. And what do they have here? It looks like he is going to go back to the plate. So unlike the rules at Tampa Bay, when you hit the catwalk, what is going to happen here? He's going to have to go back and get his shin guard, and he's going to get it at bat. And now the Japanese manager has to get the explanation from the home plate umpire as well. So they have the interpreter out there, and now the Japanese NPB umpire is out to explain to the manager Ibata what the call is. So we've had 2 innings, 2 plays of weirdness. And that is going to bring up, or is it? Why do we have 1 out here? She's signaling 1 out. It is supposed to be Nomura at the plate. I've got 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll have to wait and see what it is going to be. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the third baseman of Samurai Japan. But now they've got 1 strike up on the board. Well, let's see what happens here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4, so all of that for naught. And so Nomura gets aboard nonetheless. Well, this game here has turned a little bit. Both of the teams in the first 3 innings really they only had 1 base runner between the 2 teams. And then what ends up happening is you've got a situation in the last half inning where the Korean pitchers walked 3 Japanese batters, and they've kept that trend here continuing as they've walked the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th. As they fire over to first base and diving back in time is the runner Nomura. Nomura, the beneficiary of 2 of those 4 walks tonight. He scored the first run of the game for Japan in the 4th inning. As the pitch is on its way, it's a fastball that is swung through and missed. Count is 0-1 to Morishita. So no balls and 1 strike. If you're just joining us, the Koreans got the scoring going in the top of the 4th. A single, a home run, and another home run back to back off the bat of On and Song. And Japan got their 3 runs back in the bottom of the 4th when they sent 9 hitters to the plate. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Morishita. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down. A nice stop there by the catcher Park. And as he's asked for time, he's going to get a new baseball here. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander ready to go again. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And to pick it up is Heyman Park. And that is going to be a single here for Morishita, and the tough part of the batting order coming up here for Japan with runners at first and second and nobody out, as it's slated to be Yuhei Nakamura coming to the plate. We'll have to wait and see if it is still Nakamura. It was originally the spot once occupied by Kaz Okamoto. Just watching the pitch, far too good a pitch for these hitters. Not a lot of movement on the fastball, pretty much a tabletop delivery that was absolutely hammered. And it looks like we do have ourselves another substitution forthcoming. So we'll see if it is going to be a runner or if it is going to be a pinch hitter. And by my accounts here, it looks like it could be a pinch hitter, but it also looks like that the Koreans have seen enough, and they are going to their bullpen. That is the end of the night for the pitcher, Taek Yun Kim. So hang with us, everybody. We'll be back. We've got all kinds of changes. I was afraid of this happening tonight, as it looks like with the exhibition game, my notes are going to be like a coloring board or a coloring book. And we'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll see what the Koreans have up their sleeve, who they're bringing in when we return in just a few. 3-3 is your scoreline. We're back in just a minute. Well, we got a pitching change. It is going to be Ho-Sung Lee coming in relief. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. The game of chess continues. It is going to be a change here, a pinch hitter. It is going to be Yukinori Kishida. So the DH spot in the batting order is going to be continued to be rotated through. So Kishida is coming in, the Amuri Giant catcher, getting a chance to hit in front of his home crowd here in this one. So he is going to be striding to the plate. And they've got the runners at first and second. Or the runner at second, runner at first is Morishita. As we said, we haven't seen the bunts come out yet in this one here tonight, as they are choosing to want to bang away both of these ball clubs. So Samurai Japan sending the 29-year-old Kishida to the plate. So runners are at first and second here. Kishida hit .293 during the regular season, 8 homers and 39 runs batted in, as they do the inside spaghetti move to chase the runner back to second base. And that is usually a sign that they want to see if the hitter has intent to bunt. But no sign of the hands separating here for Kishida on that one. Here comes the offering here as the right-hander delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. Moon going back and looking up, and this one's gone. A 3-run homer off the bat of Kishida, as that is going to put the Japanese up to a 6-3 lead, a 3-run shot here in the 5th inning. And Kishida rounds the bases, and it sends the Tokyo crowd into a frenzy. A breaking ball that he had to get his 9-iron out and lift it into the seats. And that has made the scoreline 6-0 for 6-3 for Samurai Japan. So all of the scoring has come after the first 3 runs by the Koreans. So here's the pitch on its way. A fastball that misses up to Ishigami, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 6-3 lead here for Samurai Japan. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-0. So the hometown Giant hero definitely being the part of a hero in this one. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. And you think about just how fast the first 3 innings were in this game and how the last couple have just slowed right down. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 3-1 to Ishigami. Kazono and Nishikawa slated to follow here in the inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. And the trend here continues as the Koreans have forgotten how to throw strikes. And when they do, the balls are absolutely obliterated. So Ishigami draws himself a walk, and that is going to bring Kaito Kazono to the plate. Hardly looked like Kishida had even hit it. Like it was amazing. Like I didn't think that he got all of it. And the ball just kept sailing and sailing and sailing. And the next thing you know, it was long gone. So that is going to bring to the plate Kazono. Kazono 0 for 2 in this one here. He's grounded to short, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. As we wait to see here if it still is going to be Kazono or if they're going to decide to go with a different look here. As the right-hander ready to go again. Pitch coming. On its way. Kazono swings at it, and he grounds it through the 6-hole into left field. So Kazono's got himself a base hit. He's now 1 for 3 on the night, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Misho Nishikawa. So have a night Nishikawa. He is 2 for 2. He's got a single, a double, and he's driven in a pair. He had the double in the 4th inning to bring home both Nakamura and Ishigami. So he bats here with runners at first and second and nobody out. Breaking ball down in the dirt, and the count goes quickly to 1-0. So as soon as the bullpens had come in, this game here took a bit of a strange and odd turn. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander works himself to the belt. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and this is fouled away over on the first base side of home plate. The count goes even to 1-1. Ishikawa, the Chiba Lotte Marine. He was in the lineup here, the only Marine in the lineup tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, and he did go around. Unable to hold up his swing, Nishikawa, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, leaning in. I don't know if they're going to have the 5-minute break in between innings here. We'll have to wait and see. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. They are playing with the World Baseball Classic rules, so one would have to think that the show will go on. We'll try to refresh our beverage in between, but I have a feeling it'll be a regular time. There's a fastball that's come inside. It's come up, and it is hit Nishikawa. I don't know where it's hit him, if it fouled it off and hit him in the head. The home plate umpire looks like, no, it is a direct shot, and he has been hit by the pitch. Looked like it may have got him in the hand, and it took his helmet off, whether he got hit. But that'll incite a few people. That's going to load the bases here. We'll get a look at the replay. The fastball came up and in. Oh, it hit him in the wrist, and then it went up and hit him. He is very fortunate not to get hit in the face. Deflected off his wrist, came up and took his helmet clean off. So Nishikawa aboard for the third time tonight, not the way that he wanted to get on base. So that loads the bases. And that'll bring up the catcher in Seishiro Sakamoto. And at this point here, we've got the Korean manager who has made his way out. And it looks like he's got his lineup card, and it looks like we're going to be making some more changes. So I'll have to wait and see here. That is going to be the end of the night for the reliever Lee. And they're trading pitch comms as it's going to be number 65 coming into the ball game. We got a timeout. We'll get you the reliever when we come back in just a moment. Hang tight, everybody. Pitching change again. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Young Tak Song coming on in relief. The right-hander is just completing his tune-up toss as the 21-year-old. Had pitched for the Kia Tigers in the KBO this past year. As he is completing his tune-up tosses, we'll be ready to resume the action in just a moment. Well, the Japanese have punched 3 runs across here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It was the 3-run homer off the bat of Yuki Kishida. And they have since loaded the bases with nobody out. So they got bases juiced, nobody out, 3 on the board. They are now up 6-3 in this one. And it is the catcher in Seishiro Sakamoto slated to come to the plate. So it is completing his tune-up tosses is Sung. We'll be ready to get things going here. It looks like they're going to play the corners in, and they're going to play the middles and double play depth. As Sakamoto steps to the plate, and the first pitch on the way is a fastball center cut for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Sakamoto tonight has walked and grounded to third. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Song as the right-handed, or Sung as the right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses up. I have to tell you, I'm not sure where that would be. As I mentioned before, I'd like to see the umpire's scorecard on this game if there would be one. I'm not sure if that is going to be available or not, but we'll have to try to take a look. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-1. But certainly the Koreans have had a problem in being able to throw strikes. They have walked 2 already in this inning and hit a batter. go with 3 base on balls in the last half inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's hammered down the left field line. It just hooks foul, and the count is now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball almost took the head out of the runner. It was Ishigami, the runner at third. It was hook barrel line drive right over his head. As we said, the last couple innings, we've seen quite a few very strange plays. That would have been another one right there as well. Make sure you check your sinuses or clear your sinuses. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sakamoto waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, and there's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on it. It's tapped right in front of home plate. I don't know what's going on over there. The catcher came out to field it. The pitcher came to get it. Nobody was covering the plate, and it's going to be an infield single for Sakamoto. He's going to get himself an RBI, and it's going to drive in Ishigami. It's going to increase the scoreline to 7-3. Kazono goes to third. Over to seconds, Nishikawa. There's still nobody out. And that is going to bring Tai Sasaki to the plate. So the Koreans are not getting any luck here at all. So bases full of Japanese as the first pitch delivered to Sasaki is a fastball swung on. This is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Charging it is Moon. He comes up firing it in, but that's going to plate 2 more runs as both Kazono and Nishikawa cross the plate. A 2-run single off the bat of Sasaki, and that is going to increase the scoreline to 9-3. So Sasaki with a single, Sakamoto stopping at second, Kazono and Nishikawa scoring the runs. And there is still nobody out here in the 5th inning. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi. So I'm not sure that the Koreans have quite planned this one out like this. And the first pitch to Okabayashi is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Sung working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and it's lifted foul into the seats. Count now 0-2 on Okabayashi. It was Nomura who led things off here in the inning with a walk. He's waiting his turn on deck. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on. This is golfed into shallow right field. Moving over and in underneath it and making the catch is the right fielder on, and holding at second is going to be the runner Sakamoto. So Okabayashi gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the third baseman in Asami Nomura. So far a 6-run uprising here in inning number 5 for Samurai Japan. That has got the Koreans on their heels. They have scored 9 unanswered runs since the 3 that the Koreans have put on the board. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike. The count's 0-1 to Nomura. Nomura 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right his first time up and has walked a pair of times. There's a fastball that bounces up to the plate, and the count runs even to 1-1. So throwing strikes has been a challenge lately here for the Koreans. And when they do, the Japanese have pounced all over the pitches that have been strikes. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Again, the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and now the count goes to 2-2. You can see even at this level of play, if you can't throw enough strikes, it is going to come back to haunt you. That is where we are right now. There's a lot of haunting going on at the Tokyo Dome. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and tapped foul right behind home plate. Count remains at 2-2 to Nomura. 6-run inning here for Samurai Japan. As the 2-2 pitch is ready to come again. On its way. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes full to Nomura. Be interesting here to see if they maybe put the runners in motion to stay out of a double play. Only one gone here in the inning. Right-hander again holds set. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul past the third base coach's box. We'll do it all over again here at 3-2. So the right-hander kicks and delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and that is going to put Nomura in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He singled and scored a run here in the inning. It was the second round of the inning. He's also flown to center and grounded to short. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. Oh, you can see the reactions of the players. They just don't like the balls and strikes of the home plate umpire. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Another pitch delivered, and it's just going to miss down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck is the hero of the hour. That is the catcher for the Giants, Kashida. There's a fastball rip foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count goes to 2-2. I have to say, not too many empty seats at the Tokyo Dome for this one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Morishita. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a changeup swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Morishita down on strikes, and mercifully, that is going to be the end of the inning here for Samurai Japan. 6 runs in the inning for Japan here on the benefit of 5 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the top of the 6th inning. It is Japan with a 9-3 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into the top of the 6th inning, and it is a 9-3 game Samurai Japan has gone off for 3 in the 4th and 6 in the 5th innings to blow this one wide open. And we are going to be checking in here in just a couple of moments here, as obviously that is where this game is at. 3-run uprising, a 3-run inning in the top of the 4th by the Koreans got things going. It was a leadoff single by the leadoff hitter Shin, a 2-run homer by On, and then Song followed up with a solo shot to make it 3-0. The Japanese responded in their half of the 4th inning, a leadoff walk to Nomura. After Morishita flew out, it was a double by Yuhei Nakamura. An RBI single off the bat of Shugo Maki brought home the first Japanese run, and then a 2-run double off the bat of Misho Nishikawa made the scoreline 3-3. Then it was a 6-run inning in the 5th. The big blow, a 3-run homer off the bat of Yuhei Kishida, as Kishida had hit a pinch hit 3-run bomb. There was also a walk to Ishigami, and then a single by Kazono, and Nishikawa was hit by a pitch. And then it was Sakamoto knocking home the 7th run, and then a 2-run single off the bat of Sasaki that has given the Samurai Japan a 9-3 lead, and that is where we stand. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. They are taking the Japanese or the Asian break, or the halftime as we like to call it. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. The Japanese are going to the bullpen again. It is going to be Koki Kitayama who is going to be taking over here, and there's also a change behind home plate, as we will have to get that for you as well. It looks like it is going to be behind the dish. It is going to be Kenya Wakatsuki wearing the number 4. Normally he wears number 2 for the Buffaloes, but he is been yielded to Shugo Maki for this one here. And the first pitch delivered is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. It is the top of the order, Shin, On, and Song slated to come to bat here. And there is a splitter that is swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So Kitayama made 22 appearances for the Fighters during the 2025 season. There's a fastball missing down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kitayama getting his sign from his new catcher, Wakatsuki, and there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count's now full. Those pitches there, I got to tell you, Kitayama is coming in blowing gas. He is throwing 98 miles an hour on the gun. And I'd like to see if they could just go right after the Korean hitters. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped up the middle. It is fielded by the backhand of Ishigami behind the bag at second base. But Shin is going to be aboard with a leadoff single here. That's how he had started the 4th inning. His second hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Hyungmin On. And for On, in his last at bat, I got to tell you, he hit that home run about 10 rows up into the left center field seats, but it was the bat flip that was pretty impressive. There's a breaking ball taken upstairs for a ball, and the count's 1-0. On 1-for-2 with the home run, he also flew out to center field his first time up. As there's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike. That was at 97 on the gun. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The 2 big blows off the bat of On and Song back-to-back in the 4th provided the runs, and that's the home plate umpire, Jen Powell, having to coax the hitter back into the box. They've got to get used to some of these rules. There's a fastball that is swung through and missed. That was at 98. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Koki Kitayama. And what's interesting about Kitayama, it's an easy 98. Hardly looks like he is doing anything, and the ball just gets up in a hurry. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving over underneath it is Morishita. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire On. On just missed that one. And he's gone for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Seong-Wen Song. And for Song, well, he hit himself a solo shot in the 4th inning to go back-to-back with On. That ball was obliterated to right field. He is 1-for-2 in this one. He has also struck out. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses, or did it? Very interesting. The pitch was taken for, it looked like a ball. The catcher appealed to the third base umpire, and then Jen Powell went up with the right hand. They called strike. So here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count is now 0-2. Kind of wonder what some of the other major league umpires would think of her abilities. I mean, and publicly, it's one thing. Privately would be another interesting conversation. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. It's slicing, and it's going to go foul. And the count is going to remain at 0-2 to Song. So no balls and 2 strikes. Had some early struggles early on with our feeds, and looks like we got it sorted out. As the 0-2 pitch is on the way, fastball misses upstairs. It's going to be 1-2. That was at 97 on the gun. Again, the right-hander getting his sign and ready to go back to work again as he works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki enjoyed himself a pretty good year for the Buffaloes. And he's working with the enemy. There is the pitch-com problem. And now we're ready to go again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Song is down on strikes for the second time tonight. He's out for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman in Si-Hwan Rowe. Well, for Rowe, he is 0-for-2. He has popped to the catcher, and he has grounded out to third. As the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Big fella has made a couple of nice plays defensively as well for the Koreans. Pitch on the way, breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. You can really see a gulf of discrepancy between these two teams. The Koreans, you go back not all that long ago, as a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to second. Ishigami thought about stepping on the bag at second. Instead, he's going to throw to first. It's a ground out 4-3. I'll come back and give you my thoughts on the status of these two clubs. No runs in the inning. A leadoff hit by Shin was wasted. No errors and one runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. Your score is the Samurai Japan 9 and Korea 3. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this timeout. Our friend Tim is in the house. We'll be right back in just a couple moments because that was one heck of a crazy inning. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. That was one crazy inning, as our friend Tim pointed out, for sure. We have ourselves probably two crazy innings, both the fourth for both teams, as each team traded punches with 3 runs each, and then the 6-run uprising in the bottom of the fifth by the Samurai Japan has given them a 9-3 lead. And we've got ourselves Keon Woo Kim now coming into the ballgame, a left-hander, as the pitching parade continues for Korea. So Keon Woo Kim on in relief, and by our numbers, that's the 6th pitcher used tonight. And he is going to be facing Kishida, who hit that pinch hit 3-run homer his last time at bat. As the pitch is on the way and is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Kishida, Ishigami, and Kazono slated to come to bat here in inning number 6. As the lefty works himself into the delivery and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kim kicks and delivers. Fastball bounces up to the plate, and now the count goes to 2-1. That's one thing after the ball game I'd like to take a look at is the number of pitches that the Koreans have had to throw here tonight and how many balls and how many strikes as a group that they have delivered. Here's the 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed. I was starting to say in the last half inning that really in a lot of ways the gulf between Korea and Japan has really taken place here. The Japanese certainly... their game, they're almost in the golden era of Japanese baseball, as there's a breaking ball that misses down. The count goes to 3-2. Our friend Chris in the house, he says, thanks for picking up the commentary this morning. It was a little dicey there, whether we were going to be able to do it or not. As the 3-2 is on the way, there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Kishida is in the books. He's out for out number 1. That is going to bring up Taiki Ishigami to the plate. And for Ishigami, it's going to be his second plate appearance. He came in as a pinch runner for Shugomaki in the 4th. First pitch, a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. I was getting into saying where you could just see the gulf of discrepancy between the two teams' pitching staff. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Certainly the starter for the Koreans, Guak, was outstanding. As the pitch is on its way, fastball misses up, and the count goes to 2-1. only allowing the one hit through 3 innings. He got himself into trouble in the 4th. Well, that's the way she goes. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball down. Count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. We are here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-3 Japan. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is full. We're going to try to do the game tomorrow night as well. Curious to see who they would send to the hill. My guess would be Samita might get the start for the Japanese tomorrow night. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. Shigami's going to get himself a walk, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Kaito Kazono. Sometimes when pitchers miss, you say that there was a close miss or a good miss. I'm not sure that could be described either way. It was just a bad miss. First pitch to Kazono. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Kazono 1 for 3 tonight. Singled his last time, scored a run. Struck out and grounded out his other 2 trips. Lefty kicks and fires. Another fastball missing up and away, and the count goes to 2-0. Just counting the days down until I head out of Dodge here. I can't wait to head over to Southeast Asia. But it is about 30 days away. There's a fastball swung on, and it is popped up. It is behind home plate, and it's going to drift into the seats, and that's going to run the count to 2 balls and a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike here as the crowd for Japan is doing their best impersonation of the Chiba, or maybe it's the Hiroshima Carp, where they're going up and down as they're opposite. There goes the runner down to second base. The throw is offline, and in safely with a stolen base is Ishigami, so he's got himself a stolen base. We're getting into that time of the game where the amount of runs that you have spread and the point of the game, where are you going to see runners running? Well, it's still game on right now, but it's getting to be a borderline point here. How many more runs do you need to score to keep the runners from running? There's a fastball missing down and away, and the count now goes full to Kazono. I had it at 3-1, but somewhere we might have missed a strike. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Fastball lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line, and the count remains 3-2 to Kazono. Must have been on that pitch that I didn't record when the runner was stealing. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty holds set, now delivers. There's a fastball down. It's going to be ball 4. As Kazono is going to be aboard with a walk, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Misho Nishikawa. Well, Nishikawa tonight has been aboard every time he's come to the plate. He's got a single, a double, he's walked, he's been hit by a pitch. And the first pitch fastball is swung through and missed. The count is 0-1. Single, a double, 2 RBIs, and he has scored a run. Very fortunate in the last at bat. He got hit in the forearm. The ball deflected up and hit him in the helmet. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-2. Yeah, I got to say, the home plate umpire here, she does not have a good feel for the balls and strikes. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled off the mask of the catcher, Park. The count remains at 0-2. Pitch looked like it was a changeup left up in the zone. He didn't get it flush. It caught off him. Park able to stay in. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs, and Nishikawa went chasing. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher in Seishiro Sakamoto. Well, for Sakamoto, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's also drawn a walk, and check that, it's actually Kenya Wakatsuki who's come in now, so that is his spot in the batting order replaced. So Wakatsuki swings at the first pitch and fouls that one away, and the count is 0-1. Wakatsuki getting the opportunity here. To 272 in the regular season, enjoyed one of his finest years in the NPB. Breaking ball misses down, and it's 1-1 to the backstop of the Buffaloes. Kind of surprising that he wouldn't have caught Satani to begin the ball game. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it as lined right to the shortstop. And a nice play there by the shortstop, Kim of the Koreans. And that is going to do it here for the Japanese in their half of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There was no errors, but they did strand a pair. And your score here, as we move now to the top of the 7th inning, it is the Samurai Japan 9 and Korea 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this entertaining timeout from our good friend, Steve Rademacher.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Koreans in their half of the 7th. As they're approaching the 9 p.m. hour, or 2100 hours in Tokyo. 4 a.m. if you are on the west coast of North America. If you're on the east coast, it is 7 a.m. And either way, it is a time for more baseball. Koki Kitayama is still staying in the ballgame here for the Samurai Japan. As we are ready to go, it is going to be Bo Kyung Moon to lead it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight. As Kitayama ready to go, he gets the sign and he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. First pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the 7th inning, Korea find themselves in a 6-run deficit as the pitch is a fastball swung on, grounded softly to the right side. Ishigami fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Moon on a ground out. Goes in the books 4-3 for out number 1. I'll bring up the top of the order in Dongwon Park. Or the top of the order being up the catcher in Dongwon Park. Well, for Park today, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and he has flown to left. And the first pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So a ball and no strikes. There's another breaking ball delivered, and that just misses, and the count goes to 2-0. And that's where I talk about the erratic balls and strikes. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. And the count goes to 2-1. Some of those pitches look pretty darn good. Kitayama definitely changes his delivery. That was almost the borderline quick pitch. 2-1 on the way. Fastball just misses outside at 94, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. He definitely changes his leg lift at times. Fastball comes inside, and the count now goes to 3-2 as Park fights that one off. One gone here in the top of the 7th inning, as the Koreans are starting to run out of outs here. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is popped up behind home plate, giving chase is Wakatsuki. But that one is going to drift into the seats, and the count is going to remain at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. A lot of excitement, a lot of sirens going on the outside. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, racing over to his left and making the catch as he falls to his knees is Nishikawa. And he is going to retire Park. That ball was hit right on the screws. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the left fielder in Hyun Bin Moon. Well, with Moon coming to the plate, it was his at-bat that was one of the weirdest at-bats we've seen in a while. He had hit a line drive off the foot of the pitcher that popped up into the air, was caught by the first baseman in foul territory. First pitch fastball misses upstairs. That was at 95. Very, very strange sequence of events. We looked at the replay, and it looked like it had hit the ground before it actually had hit the batter. There was a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul. And the Koreans thought that it hit the ground and then hit the pitcher, and they were absolutely correct. I guess in the exhibition, they're not using the replay, because I would have definitely went for the VAR on that. There's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Moon. Actually, that last pitch was a split finger pitch. It didn't split a whole lot. It looked like a breaking ball. There's a fastball missing up and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball just misses outside. The count now goes full to Moon. As the right-hander Kitayama goes back to work, he rocks himself slowly into the motion and delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Moon slowly gets on. He had to hold his ground because we're not really sure what's going to be called by the home plate umpire. And if I go back and look over, that is the first walk issued tonight by any Japanese pitcher. If I had to go and look at the Korean walk totals, oh boy. I'm not exactly sure what their number would be. I'm just taking a peek here. I've got 7 walks issued by Korean pitchers. The first walk issued by a Japanese pitcher right then and there. So 1 ball and no strikes as the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we mentioned, we're going to try to jump back in tomorrow. The start time of tomorrow's game, if I'm not mistaken, is a half hour later. As the pitch is a fastball, it is swung on and popped up foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count goes even at 1-1. We'll set the stream up for that a little bit later today. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander Kitayama working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. It was a stolen base there by Moon as he takes the bag at second. He had a huge jump. Shortstop Kazono just held up the hand and said, don't worry about it. We don't have a chance. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. On its way, fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. So the Japanese didn't walk anybody for the first 6 innings, or 6 2/3, and now it's back-to-back walks to Moon and Kim, and that'll bring up the center fielder Hei-Min Park. And at the same time, it's going to bring the pitching coach under the Japanese dugout. So he wants to come on out and have a word with his reliever here. There is action in the Japanese bullpen, as they have a right-hander up and throwing. Can't quite get a number on it. We'll see if we can be able to get the number of the pitcher who is up and throwing. It might be Shinya Matsuyama, the Dragons pitcher. Can't really tell there if that is indeed who is up and throwing still. So the first pitch delivered here now to Park is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Park has grounded out twice. Right-hander Sheena delivers a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. Koki Kitayama on in relief. First time tonight that the Koreans have actually had 2 base runners on at the same time. They did hit the 2-run homer. I guess if you call that the case, there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kitayama ready to go again. He holds to the set. He checks the runner at second. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded right back at the pitcher. He knocks it down, throws to first, and that's going to do it. Ground out 1-3. Again, the pitcher's involved in some weird plays. Another one there as it had trickled away from him, and he was able to get up and get it. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was a pair left aboard. We're moving to the bottom half of inning number 7. It is a 9-3 Japan lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments, and it is that time of the night for some take me out to the ball game, Japanese style. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat the 9-1-2 hitters for Samurai Japan here in the bottom half of inning number 7. It'll be Sasaki and then the top of the order, Okabayashi and Nomura slated to come to hit here. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. The reliever, Kim, is still in the ball game. Sasaki is officially 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. Swings at a fastball, grounds it to short. Fielded by the shortstop, Kim, who fires to first. And Sasaki is going to be retired. It's a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi. Well, for Okabayashi, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 4 in this one tonight. And the first pitch comes in and it drills him right in the back. So between a bunch of walks and now another hit by pitch, Okabayashi is going to be aboard. He's going to make his way down to first base slowly. I don't know where he got hit there. He's holding his arm. Very weird. Have to take a look at it ourselves to see where he got plunked. I don't know if I like the way that he turned around on the pitch as well. It's like he turned around and he wanted to get hit on the meatier part of the body. It was like he was too slow to turn. And as they lead him to the base, looks like he is going to be good to go. The first pitch, breaking ball delivered to Isami Nomura, swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Nomura officially 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and he's flown to right. He has walked twice. And there is a fastball swung on. This ball is golfed into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Stopping at second is Okabayashi, so that's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone, and it's going to bring the right fielder Shota Morishita to the plate. Well, for Morishita, he is officially 1 for 4 today. He's got a single and 4 trips. He has scored a run. He's grounded out, he's flown out, and struck out in his other 3 trips. And the first pitch, breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. You really have to wait for the home plate umpire. There's almost an indecisiveness whether she goes up with the right hand or not. Fastball center cut for a called strike. And again, you got to kind of hang in there because you're not sure if she's going to go up with the right hand or not. So no balls and 2 strikes to Morishita as the lefty holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball down, it squirts away from the catcher Park, but the runner is not able to advance. 1-2 to Morishita. And again, Morishita waiting here on the offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over to third. They field it. They go to second for 1. Back to first. Not going to be in time. That's going to be a fielder's choice. Another nice play there by the third baseman, Rowe. So Morishita is safe at first on that fielder's choice. Nomura is going to be erased. Goes in the books 5-4 for the second out of the inning. And Okabayashi makes his way over to third. And it looks like the Japanese are going to be going to their bench yet again. Looks like Kishida's day is done. So they're using the DH spot as an opportunity to get everybody in at bat. So we'll be curious to see who they are bringing off the bench here. So 2 gone in the inning. I wouldn't think they got a whole lot left. They've used quite a bit. Oh, maybe it's the pinch runner as opposed to the pinch hitter. It looks like it is still going to be at the plate. Kishida, there goes the runner down to second. That is Ryota Isabata. And Isabata is going to steal second. They throw down to third in that situation and getting back in there safely. So stolen base for Isobata as he replaces Morishita. One of the faster runners in all the NPB. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Gunn is great. Says that Japan has won for sure. I would say this, that there is probably a strong chance that they are going to get a victory in this one. Breaking ball that misses, and the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike to Kishida. That 6-run uprising was the death nail, especially when even the 3-run inning where you come right back. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 2-2 to Kishida. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 3-2. Yeah, the game went sideways in the 4th inning. 3 runs for each of the teams in their half inning, and then the Japanese with a 6-run launching pad in the 5th. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side, and the count remains full to Kishida. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the left-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into right field, moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch. Is the right fielder on, and that is going to do it here as Kishida's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners stranded aboard. We are now moving to the top half of inning number 8. Your score is Samurai Japan with a 9-3 lead over Korea. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Hanging out here with our friend God is great, but we'll be back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a pitching change. It is going to be the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles right-hander who is going to be taking over here for Samurai Japan, and that would be Shoma Fujihira, as he is completing his tune-up tosses and will be ready to get this one back underway in just a moment. So he is going to be the 5th pitcher used tonight by Samurai Japan. So Shoma Fujihira on in relief. And for Fujihira, well, he is slated to face the top of the order. For the Koreans, it is supposed to be Shin On and Song. They have been the major producers of the offense for the Koreans. They have 4 hits in their 9 trips to the plate in that top third of the batting order. The rest of the order does not have a hit. And the first pitch on the way, fastball swung on, lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Over to field it, but digging for 2 is Shin, and that's going to be a hustle double. Oh, boy. They had to get over to try to field it. I don't know if it is Isobata who is in right and if it is in center still Okabayashi. We'll have to take a look here, but they certainly challenged the arm of the right fielder. And in safely with a hustle double is Shin. That's his third hit of the night. He's got a couple of singles and now the double. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in on. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. It's Okabayashi who was the right fielder there. They've moved him over from center to right. Isobata in center field. The defensive changes for Samurai Japan. Here comes the 0-1 offering to on. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So Hyun-min on here tonight. 1 for 3. He's got the home run, the 2 RBIs. He's also flown out twice. And now stepping off the backside of the rubber is the reliever Fujihira. And he's going to cycle through the sides again with his catcher Wakatsuki. Again, the right-hander holds set, now delivers. Fastball upstairs. They appeal over to the first base umpire. And they say he did go around. On is gone on strikes. I can't say I disagree. I think that's the right call. Unable to hold it up, and he is out for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Seung-Wen Song. And the first offering to Song is a breaking ball missing outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Song today has the home runs surrounded by 2 strikeouts. As the right-hander works himself to the belt, here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into a deep left center field. Racing back, Isobata. He's going to make the catch over the shoulder. Tagging at second and heading over to third is going to be the runner Shin. Some heads-up running by him. But boy, what a blast there by Song. Hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, but he's gone for the second out. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Si-Hwan Roh. Well, for Roh, 0 for 3 today. He has grounded out twice and popped to the catcher. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a pinch hitter here, as they are going to the bench are the Koreans, and this is going to be number 25. And we'll get a look to see who that is going to be. It's going to be Dong-hee Han. So Dong-hee Han on the pinch hit. He takes a first pitch breaking ball down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. And the right-hander Fujihira kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. Interesting how when they want to let the home plate umpire know, they look away. They don't say boo, but they're just their reactions speak 1,000 words. Fastball swung on, grounded, and it's going to get through the first baseman, Sasaki, into right field. That's going to bring home a run. We're going to have to wait and see if it is going to be ruled a hit. But it is going to cut the score line to 9-4. And so Don Ki-hong gets himself, as we said, we're going to have to wait and see if that is going to be a RBI or not. Have to also see if that is a base hit, but looks like his day will be done, as we're going to have a pinch runner for him. And I'm not sure who is coming quite into pinch run yet, but that ball ate up the first baseman, Sasaki. We'll have to go back and take a look to see if they did rule it as an error, but the run has crossed the plate, and that has cut the score line to 9-4. But they are running out of outs for the Koreans. They've only got 4 left to play with in this game, and it brings to the plate Bo Kyung Moon. Moon looking for his first hit of the night. He's flown to left, flown to right, and he is grounded out in his 3 trips. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. There is a fastball that just misses, and the count goes to 1-1. Top of the 8th inning. Koreans down 9-4. Fujihira, the pitcher on the hill here for Japan. As he kicks and fires another fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. If you've just joined us, each team traded punches with 3 runs in the 4th, and then it was Japan with 6 in the 5th. They've given them a 9-3 lead, and the Koreans have just scored a run here to make it 9-4 as that fastball misses up and away. The count is now 3-1 here to Moon. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Just taking a quick peek, was an error ruled to Sasaki over at first base, so that answers that question. E3 allowed Hong to be able to reach base. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and another one fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2. If you're waking up and just joining us on the East Coast, we're glad you could be here with us. We are now approaching the 3-hour mark of this game. The first 3 innings were played in a half an hour, and the next 4.5 innings, it's taken 2 hours to play, 2.5. Breaking ball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to be the 3rd walk issued by Japanese pitchers tonight. Advancing to second, be the pinch runner for Hong. That's going to put runners at first and second. It'll bring Dong Wang Park to the plate. And you got to be careful here because Park can swing the bat a little bit. The ball that gets deposited into the seats here makes it a really entertaining affair. (9-4), Japan has the lead. And I don't think they want the Koreans to come any closer than this. So the catcher, Park, steps in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's flown to left twice, grounded out to third once. Pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Crowd in a bit of a frenzy here as the pitch on the way. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike because the right-hander ready to deliver again, and it's a fastball. I'm not sure where that was. That looked pretty darn good, and the count goes to 2-1. This has been the erratic strike zone. The home plate umpire here. Although I have to say that pitch did look like a little bit low upon further review. But it's been all over the place. Both teams, their reactions speak 1,000 words. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into right center field. This could be trouble. Isabata coming over. He calls off Okibayashi, and he's going to haul it in for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was 1 error, There was a runner, actually 2 runners left aboard. And your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 8, it is 9-4. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Slated to come to bat will be Ishigami, Kazono, and Nishikawa. We'll see what the Samurai Japan Brass have up their sleeves. That is who is coming to bat here or slated to come to bat here in this half inning. Just waiting to see if there's any confirmation on a pitching change. We'll get that for you here in just a moment as well. So they are playing out the string here a little bit. There is a right-hander. This is going to be Min Seok Lee. We had another Korean pitcher used here tonight. So Min Seok Lee on the hill. And by our counts tonight, that'll be the 7th pitcher used by the Koreans. So he has completed his tune-up tosses. Looks like we have some other defensive changes. Looks like it's a new catcher, a new third baseman. And unfortunately, we're going to have to get that caught up a little bit later when the Koreans come to bat in the next half inning. So, Shigami ready to come here. That the catcher is a big fella compared to the home plate umpire. Curious to see how big he is. The first pitch was taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ishigami, and the pitch on the way just missed, and it's a ball, so 1 ball and 1 strike. There's another fastball that's delivered, and it just misses up and away. It's 2-1. We're just a little bit behind in catching up. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count goes to 2-2 to Ishigami. Shugo Maki got the start. Ishigami came into pinch run for him in the 4th and scored the 3rd run of the ball game. He also walked and scored a run in the 5th, and he walked and stole a base in the 6th. Pitch on the way. It is a split finger pitch missing down. Count runs full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there is a fastball that just misses low at 95. That's going to be ball 4. And Ishigami is aboard. That's going to be his 3rd walk of the evening. Oh boy, the walks just keep mounting up here for the Koreans. I was talking about this a couple innings ago. And if I look at my math to see if I am correct, we had 3 walks in the 4th. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-0. In the 5th inning, they added to their tally with a couple of more walks, but they were also hit by a pitch for the Japanese. And they had a couple more walks in the 6th. Another hit batter in the 7th. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded into right field. The ball's got eyes. And Kazono is going to get himself a base hit. So a single for him. It's his second hit of the evening. It's the third time he's been aboard. Stopping at second is Ishigami. That'll bring Misho Nishikawa to the plate. But if I go back and I take my peek, as I said before, I think that's, my math is right. That's 8 walks and 2 hit batters. So Nishikawa, speaking of hit batters, he was hit in the ball game. There was some concern for him. Pitches a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Nishikawa tonight has reached base 3 of the 4 times he's come to the plate. He's 2 for 3 officially with a single, a double, a couple RBIs. He has struck out and has been hit by a pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the right-hander ready to go again. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again working to the belt. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes now to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander holds set, now fires. Fastball swung through and missed. Count now goes full to Nishikawa. If you've just joined us, well, we'll look to come on back again tomorrow night. Same 2 teams, as we mentioned, a half-hour later start. 3-2 on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and another free pass. That's going to load the bases here with nobody out. And that is going to bring to the plate Kenya Wakatsuki, and it's going to bring the Koreans' pitching coach out to the mound to have a few words with his right-hander. So Lee here, I would have to think that there's probably not a whole lot to say. Let's get this. Throw strikes. You're facing the bottom part of the batting order. The bottom part of the batting order tonight, the bottom third for Samurai Japan, at least in my books, 8 for 13. They've reached base tonight. That type of production is going to kill anybody. They've got 4 hits. They've been hit by a pitch. They've had 3 walks to go with it. So Wakatsuki waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. And the first pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the right-hander leans in, gets the sign. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to get a run in. And everybody is going to move up 90 feet. And Kenya Wakatsuki has himself an RBI single. And that increases the score line to 10-4. So Ishigami in to score. Kazono to third. Nishikawa to second. And they are not out of the woods yet, are the Koreans. It's going to bring the 9-hole hitter Tai Sasaki to the plate. So Sasaki officially 1 for 3 tonight and a walk. He has driven in a pair of runs. And the first pitch on the way, fastball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So the hit parade continues here for the Japanese. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to second. They tag the runner going from first to second. Well, that's not very good base running by the veteran Wakatsuki. It is going to bring home another run as Kazona will cross the plate. Advancing over to third is Nishikawa. It's a double play. It is going to go in the books. 4-3 for the double play. No RBI awarded to Sasaki on that one. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And it's going to bring the top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi to the plate with the scoreline now 11-4 for Samurai Japan. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down. Okabayashi today, well, he has had himself a tough night at the office. He is officially 0 for 4, and he was hit by a pitch his last time up. 11, 12, and 1 for Samurai Japan. 4, 5, and 0 for Korea. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Okabayashi. That's what I see with Okabayashi. I've seen him play live one time. And he reminds me of a very streaky type player. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to first. I say all or nothing. It is fielded on a couple of hops by the first baseman Moon. He steps on the bag, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out to 3 to end the inning, but not before more runs have crossed the plate for Samurai Japan. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores, we now move to the top of the 9th inning. It is a 11-4 lead. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this musical timeout.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom third of the batting order slated to come to bat for the Koreans here in the 9th inning, and it is going to be the Saitama Cebu Lion right-hander, 26-year-old Kaima Taira is coming into the ball game to try to finish it off. So Taira on in relief. He had himself a great year this year, 54 ball games that he appeared in. And he had an ERA of 1.71. Taira, they tried to move him into a starting role in Saitama, and they ended up going back into the bullpen, where he's had much of his success in his career. He started off pretty good as a starter, but he had some shoulder impingements and some issues. Ended up putting him back on the shelf and into the pen, so to speak. So Taira here ready to go, as he is supposed to be facing Moon, Kim, and Park. We'll see if there's any changes forthcoming here for the Koreans. And so here comes the offering from Taira. First pitch, breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Moon. Our Filipino friend said that the Japanese are very angry tonight. Yeah, they woke up after giving the 3-spot up to the Koreans. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-2. Moon walked his last time up, stole a base, and then he was part of that wild play back in the fifth inning that he was a ball that he had hit off the foot of Matsumoto that ended up in the air and being caught by the first baseman Sasaki. As the last pitch had missed. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2 on Moon. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes full to 3-2. So here comes the 3-2 to Taira on its way. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of Taira. Fielded on the run by Kazono. He throws to first, and Moon is gone on a ground out 6-3. Nice play by the Carp shortstop. Now the Koreans are down to their final 2 outs. And it is going to be Juwon Kim, the shortstop, coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 in this one. He's also drawn a walk. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count is 1-0. Ball and no strikes. Normally when we're done, we always give a full wrap-up and a rundown. Well, not tonight. No games going on other than this one, as that pitch misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Kim. So 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Kim. Kim has made some nice plays at shortstop, the young, slick fielding defender. There's a fastball swung on, and now he's got a hit to his name as he hammers that through the 4-hole. Base hit single here for the Korean shortstop, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Haemin Park. Well, for Park, looking for his first hit here tonight, although he has had some nice defensive plays. And the first pitch is a breaking ball missing down for a ball, and the count's 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. There's a fastball swung on, his chop softly to the right side of the infield. They're going to have to hurry. And it looks like the Taira is going to win the foot race. It's going to go as a ground out 3-1. Advancing over to second is Kim. That's going to put 2 in the books here, and it'll bring up the top of the order in Min Jae Shin. Well, if there's one player who has had a great night deceiving, this would be the one. Shin, the leadoff hitter, is 3 for 4. He's got a couple of singles, a double. He's scored a pair of runs, and he's grounded out. So he has been on base 3 out of 4 times. So he bats from the left side here against the right-hander Taira. And now he got the pitch clock violation. So we're going to add a ball to the count as Taira is fallen behind. So 1 ball and no strikes as Taira delivers a fastball center cut. Called strike, and the count's 1-1. Kind of wonder about that because Taira was the one got charged with it, but it looked like the batter had stepped out of the box or was wanting to step out. Fastball swung on, and the count goes to 1-2, and time wasn't granted. So now the Koreans are down to their final strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Shin. As Taira ready to go. Japan looking to try to close it out right here. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Shin stood there like the house by the side of the road, and that is going to do it here as he's down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score is Samurai Japan with an 11-4 victory over the Koreans. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments, and we'll put this one to rest right after this timeout. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Well, everybody, thanks for hanging in here with us tonight. We are going to wrap this one up as your final score was Japan 11 and Korea 4. The uprising of 3 in the 4th and 6 in the 5th for Samurai Japan, and add a couple of exclamation points in the 8th. It gives them an 11-4 victory. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. It'll be about a half hour later, so hopefully you guys can join us. We look forward to hanging with you again tomorrow night for Japan and Korea, second game in the series. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you again in less than 24 hours.